welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda. Diaries is all about beauty, brains, and African sauce. So show this video some love by liking, sharing, and hit that notification bell so that you get to know when I upload more academia, career, and lifestyle content. So today is a special type of video. As you can see, I have a lovely guest, Dr. Lydia Mbuthia, also known as my mom. The objective of today's video is to address some of the inquiries that you've raised in my previous ACCA videos. And my mom has many accolades, some of which are relevant to our video today. So she's a fellow member of the ACCA. She's also a university lecturer in accounting and finance and has a PhD in commerce. Mom, maybe you could say hi to our viewers.
Hi viewers, thanks for supporting this particular channel. It's important that we share some of the experiences that we have had for the benefit of everybody. Welcome.
Thanks, Mom. So your queries, I have grouped them into different themes because most of them are quite similar. So I've grouped them into 4 key themes, and we'll start off with our first query. Most of the people wanted to know, how do you pass the ACCA? Are there any specific tips that you can help us to know how to pass the exam?
Wow, that's a good question. I believe ACCA exams are just like the many others that you have taken in your life. Here it depends mainly on your style of preparation, because at the end of the day, for you to pass any exam, preparation is key. So prepare are the 3 things that are most important. But what I realized that was quite useful with ACCA is the management of time during the exam. It's important that you allocate enough time to each and every question that you are required or that you have chosen to answer for whichever unit or course that you're sitting for. So for me, time was critical, because if you find that you spend more time in one question and then very little in another, you find it's very hard to pass when you have failed to attempt all questions adequately. Now, what I realized works is that for every 1 mark allocated to a question, you are not supposed to spend more than 1.5 minutes. So the first thing you do when you look at a question, you read the question, look at the marks, even a section of the question. If it is 2 marks, then you cannot afford to spend more than 3 minutes on that section. If you then do that, regardless of how much you like the case or the scenario presented, you must move to the next, so that at the end of it all, you have attempted each and every question adequately.
I agree, and I've seen from experience you could spend so much time on one question thinking that it's the only question that you'll get marks from, only to realize the questions you didn't attempt were actually good ones that you could have really gotten a lot of marks from. So thanks for that. Are there any specific, do you think it changes per paper? So you know the way there are different levels, there is the applied knowledge, then there is the applied skills, and then the more professional level exams. Do you think that you would have any specific tips for each level? Does it change?
To me, not as much. Of course, the earlier ones are easier. You know, the earlier ones are easier than. But what matters is preparation, because you must know what the exam requires or what the examiner requires, and you must allocate, according to me, enough time to go through. Now, normally there's a weakness, especially for people who are working and therefore not able to attend classes. They think that they can, go through quickly, this course, even the course books, quickly and pass. No, until you understand and therefore are able to tell what the examiner requires and then give the examiner what they require, you will not pass. So rushing through will not work in ACCA. And I think that's what I like about this qualification, because ACCA prepares you for the real business scenarios that you find at the workplace.
Very true. Very true. Thanks so much for that. And is there any specific order of exams that one can take? Because I got that question. People were wondering, should I take it sequentially as it is, F1, F2, F3, or is there any specific combination of papers you should do that would be better?
What for me, what I realized works is to go sequential, because one, you find that one level prepares you for the next, but you don't need to have passed for you to do the next level. So you might attempt the lower level, you don't really pass, but next time you do the lower level plus a higher level. What I also notice is that if you attempt the maximum you can manage, it's even better, because it opens your mind to all these areas, and therefore giving you more room to take more, and maybe even a higher level courses later on. I would take, for example, for me, I would take 3 at a go. And honestly, it worked, because I only had 4 exam sessions to clear my courses. And Andre failed one. I won't say which one. But I got the rest. I was able to, and I was able to take even the one I failed together with 2 other papers. And the second sitting, I passed. So it's important that you take the maximum you can manage instead of just taking forever. Because one thing also with ACC is that they keep changing. I think you have noticed they keep changing even the content, because they want to be relevant. So it's important that you do within the period, and you don't have therefore to buy different course texts to do the same paper that you keep receipting.
Yeah,
so
you receipt it over 2 years. Not advisable.
5, some people take forever. So that's my take on that.
Perfect. That's really perfect. So what's your take on self-studying versus someone going for lectures? So from your own experience, so she's also self-studied, I've self-studied. What made you self-study when there was the option of tuition?
I think there are 2 main factors there. One, and for me, which really was very important, was flexibility. I could read, allocate time, day, night, when I'm free, depending on my work schedule. So flexibility is one of the key factors that made me choose self-study. The other thing is cost. Why pay for something I can do myself? If I can find a way, a style, and get what the end, sometimes justifies.
True. Yeah, it's definitely much cheaper to just have to pay for exam and study text, because you'll still have to buy the material, you'll still have to buy the question guides, even if you're getting lectures. So it's just cheaper, but of course you'd have to plan your time better, which leads on to our next question. So preparing for the exam, any specific tips on study routines, time management, preparing the different elements of how to prepare for the exams? What tips would you have for that?
As I keep saying, people study differently, but what worked for me was and I would take a few months. Once I register for the exams, then a few months before the exams, I start going through the course text. I would make sure that I go through, if there are the 3 exams, the 3 course texts, or content first, quickly, to just familiarize myself with that, because then I would know which areas are heavy and which ones don't require so much of my attention. In so doing, I'll be able then to know how much time I'll need just before exams to go through that text, and therefore attempt questions adequate. So I'll familiarize myself a few months, as we go towards the exams, but I would also take time off, allocate 2 to 3 days, depending on how heavy the course is, for each, and I would read one text until the end, then another. So 2 to 3 days, and then I'll be able to sit and pass.
So thank you so much for watching today's video. Make sure you share all your queries, any suggestions in the comment section below. It was so lovely to have you, Mom. If you'd like her to come back again to be a repeat guest, also put that in the comment section, and I'll try my best to get her on here again. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.